Good evening, friends. In an era that often feels estranged from its heritage, we stand on the precipice of a profound renaissance, one that beckons us to rediscover the timeless wisdom of sanatana dharma. As we navigate the complexities of modern existence, let us not regard our ancient scriptures as mere relics of the past, but as essential reservoirs of guidance and enlightenment. Through my endeavor to disseminate these insights, I aspire to ignite a flame in the hearts of young minds, steering them toward life imbued with integrity, purpose, and moral fortitude. Together, let us champion the enduring values of Sanatana Dharma, ensuring that its radiance not only illuminates our present but also paves the way for future generations. I invite you to embark on this sacred journey with me. Search for Raju Krishnan Sanatana Dharma on Google or YouTube and join me every Sunday for illuminating video clips that delve into the profound insights of our ancient heritage. To fully appreciate the continuity of these concepts, I encourage you to watch these videos from the very beginning. Your engagement and feedback are invaluable as we strive to propagate these timeless principles far and wide. And having said this, let me continue my mission. Last week, I provided a comprehensive overview of the Upanishads, and this week, I turn my attention to Isha Upanishad. As one of the shortest yet most profound Upanishads, it holds a distinguished position within Vedic literature, forming part of the Shukla Yajurveda. The Isha Upanishad is remarkable for its philosophical depth, succinctness, and emphasis on spiritual unity. It has profoundly shaped various schools of Indian philosophy, particularly Advaita Vedanta. Its central message of harmonizing action with renunciation has become a foundational tenet of Hindu thought, solidifying its status as a cornerstone of Indian spirituality and laying the groundwork for subsequent texts, including the Bhagavad Gita. And the Isha Upanishad, one of the shortest but most profound Upanishads, holds a special place in Vedic literature. It forms part of the Shukla Yajurveda and it's unique for its philosophical depth, brevity, and emphasis on spiritual unity. Let's have an in depth look into its origin, features, messages, and philosophy. And Isha Upanishad is among the oldest Upanishads dating back to the 8th to 6th century BCE. It is part of the Shukla Yajurveda, specifically the closing parts of the Samhita portion. The word Isha derives from the Sanskrit word Ish, meaning Lord or Supreme Controller, referring to the omnipresent nature of Brahman, the ultimate reality. And the Isha Upanishad consists of just 18 verses, making it one of the shortest yet highly condensed Upanishads. Despite its brevity, each verse is densely packed with a philosophical insight, blending metaphysical concepts with a practical guidance for life. And these verses are composed in a poetic form, reflecting the style of Vedic literature which aids in oral transmission. And the Isha Upanishad addresses apparent contradictions such as action versus renunciation, knowledge versus ignorance, and material versus spiritual worlds, offering a unified vision. And the most famous verse of the Isha Upanishad, Ishavarshyam idam sarvam, that translated all this, whatsoever moves in this universe, is pervaded by the Lord, This emphasizes the idea that Brahman is present everywhere and the entire cosmos is a manifestation of the divine. It advocates seeing all existence as interconnected with the same divine essence. And the Upanishad encourages renunciation not in the sense of abandoning the world, but in renouncing attachment to material possessions. This concept is captured in the phrase Tena Tyaktena Bunjita, enjoy with renunciation. It promotes the idea of living in the world, fulfilling one's responsibilities without attachment to material possessions, suggesting that true joy comes from spiritual fulfillment. And Isha Upanishad also tackles the relationship between karma and jnana, that is, the action and knowledge. It advocates a path that integrates both performing one's duties while maintaining the awareness of the divine presence in all. And it also talks about how both action and inaction without realization can lead to ignorance, suggesting that selfless action coupled with spiritual wisdom leads to liberation. And the Upanishad hints at the mystery of death, encouraging one to move beyond the fear of mortality by realizing the eternal nature of the soul, Atman. It states that Brahman is beyond life and death, and realizing this leads to moksha. And the Isha Upanishad is deeply rooted in the Advaita Vedanta philosophy, which teaches that Atman is non different from Brahman. It advocates seeing the unity in diversity and realizing that all distinctions are illusion. And the Upanishad says the foundation of Karma Yoga, which is elaborated later in the Bhagavad Gita. It emphasizes performing one's duties in a selfless manner without desire for results while maintaining the awareness of the divine presence in all actions. And the Upanishad critiques those who seek fulfillment in material possessions and sensory pleasure. It teaches that such pursuits only lead to ignorance and suffering. True knowledge comes from understanding the impermanence of the material world and focusing on the eternal soul. And Isha Upanishad stresses that neither action alone nor knowledge alone can lead to liberation. A harmonious blend of both is essential, and this mirrors the philosophy later discussed in the text like the Bhagavad Gita. And everything in the universe as is a part of the divine and must be treated with respect and reverence. One should perform their duties in the world without attachment to material outcomes, achieving inner peace and balance. And both should be integrated to transcend worldly life and attain true spiritual realization. Realizing the eternal nature of the soul leads to overcoming the fear of death. And the Isha Upanishad has influenced various schools of Indian philosophy, especially the Advaita Vedanta. It emphasizes on the unity of divine with the universe, laid the groundwork for later spiritual texts. And its core message, balancing action with renunciation, has been widely adopted in Hindu thought, making it a cornerstone of Indian spirituality. And uh, the Isha Upanishad remains a powerful spiritual text, inviting seekers to engage with the world, understand the unity of existence, and transcend the material plane by performing selfless action. And its balance between action and detachment makes it especially relevant to those who seek to live spiritually while fully participating in the world. The teachings of Isha Upanishad offer several benefits for modern youth, especially in this fast paced world that often emphasizes materialism, competition, and constant activity. And the Upanishad teaches detachment through the words Tena Tyaktena Brinjita means enjoy renunciation means youth should understand that while material success and possessions are part of life, true contentment comes from non attachment to these things. Youth can learn to balance their aspirations with inner peace, enjoying life without becoming slaves to material goals. This can reduce stress and anxiety, often associated with competition and consumerism. And the Upanishad advocates performing one's duties without attachment to the results. So the idea aligns with the modern focus on purpose driven living, encouraging youth to focus on their efforts rather than being preoccupied with the outcomes. So, this can build resilience, help them find meaning in their work, and reduce the pressure of achieving perfection. And Isha Upanishad emphasizes the oneness of all beings with the famous line Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam. The Lord pervades everything in the universe. This fosters a sense of respect for all life forms and people. And in today's world, where division and individualism often prevail, this teaching can inspire youth to cultivate compassion, tolerance, and empathy, leading to healthier relationship and social harmony. And the Upanishad teaches that the soul is eternal and beyond the limitations of life and death. Understanding this can alleviate existential fears. So, and the Isha Upanishad promotes living a life of simplicity and mindfulness. It encourages being mindful of one's role in the universe and practicing humility. Modern youth, often overwhelmed by the distractions of technology and fast living, can learn to focus on what truly matters, leading more mindful, ethical, and purposeful life. And this Upanishad doesn't call for renouncing the world, but rather living it in with detachment and understanding of the divine presence in everything. So this way offers a pathway for youth to engage in worldly activities like career building, education, and relationship while still maintaining a spiritual outlook, leading to a balanced life. So, by integrating the messages of this Isha Upanishad, modern youth can develop a holistic approach to life that balances their external achievements with internal growth. It equips them to navigate the material world without losing sight of spiritual values, fostering contentment, resilience, and empathy. These timeless teachings are particularly relevant today as they provide tools to manage mental well being, live with purpose, and foster harmonious coexistence in an interconnected world. Have a wonderful week ahead. Best regards, Raju Krishnan, Hyderabad.